My parents started this business over 50 years ago, so we know flooring here at Parish Carpet. We have a large showroom and a big selection in stock. We do custom binding and we do free estimates. We've served a lot of people in the 50+ years, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you. So if you have a flooring need, come see us at Parish Carpet.
Students is located in the old Metcalfe County High School cafeteria on West Stockton Street in Edmonton. And hey, there's nothing trivial about that.
The Old School Cafe is open for breakfast 6 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday, 7 to 10 on Saturdays.
Open for lunch 11 to 1 Monday through Friday. Come visit us at the Old School Cafe.
When Fire Pit Spirits first opened in May, they set out to be a place of business that puts service above all else, and that's why they have a large staff to help you find what you need and then help you do your car when you're done. They strive to have the best selection in the county, and you can be the judge of that. They also wanted you to have the convenience of a drive-through window for when you're in a rush, or if the weather just doesn't suit you. With so many options, Fire Pit Spirits make sure they're equipped for professionalism and satisfaction. Happy Valley Road in Glasgow, Fire Pit Spirits, best service, best selection, best friends.
Hey, let me tell you about Tyler Shaw. We just learned that Tyler Shaw is turning 8 today. That's a great age, Tyler. Enjoy every minute of it. Yes, it's time to roll back the hands of time and enjoy the pathway that was laid before us. This is called The Archives, presented by the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center, the harbor of history around here, the Museum of the Barrens. And it's brought to you by Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services. Mr. Sam Terry will join me in just a second, and we will talk history.
15,000 inventory items, custom brake hoses while you wait, cylinder repair. Is there anything Joseph A. Wade can't do? Well, one thing's for sure, Joseph A. Wade Incorporated serves a large community of people who believe there's no job they can't do, and that's the same attitude Joseph A. Wade has in their line of work. So for the smallest screws, Allen wrenches, or drill bits, or even a 5-stage hydraulic cylinder measuring 25 feet in length, Joseph A. Wade's motto? No problem. Joseph A. Wade Incorporated, 311 Industrial Drive, Glasgow.
All right, Sam Terry, good morning to you. Have a good weekend, did you?
I did, Henry. I hope you did as well.
I did as well, and now we're pumped up and ready to roll here on this, the 20th day of August. It's getting away from us, and that means that we are a month away from the harvest of history, and I thought we could just, before we get into the different decades today, Sam, let's talk about what's coming up here on Friday, the 21st of September, and Saturday, the 22nd of September. It is it's become a tradition. It's become a very famous part of what happens around here. It is the Harvest of History, and it's going to be a walking tour of the history and heritage of the Barrens, with tours departing from the Cultural Center at 6 p.m. Final tour will leave at 8 p.m. Each tour lasts about 1 hour. Let me just, I'm just going to give you all the names here, okay?
Okay.
In history, Richard Crossfield. We'll learn about Richard Crossfield. We'll learn about Nathaniel G. Terry. We will learn about Ellis Rice. We will learn about Miss Bess Howard. Learn about F.M. Jones and Berta Church. Now, there's a story to each one of these pieces of history, and it's as we move forward toward the harvest of history, you're going to see sometimes these names mean a lot. Sometimes you don't understand how important they are until you hear the history of it. So let's go ahead and get that September 21st and 22nd. Of course, you've been involved in this for a long time, and in fact, we talked about this. You're going to be one of the, well, let's see. You could be an actor, a reenactor, or a enthusiast as you play the role of Richard Crossfield. Those 2 dates.
And I will be doing that, Henry.
And you'll certainly portray, I'll tell you, as I look at the information in front of me, I don't know much about Richard Crossfield, so I'm really anxious for you for us to learn from you, Sam.
Well, he's an interesting character, and many people in Glasgow and Barren County would not have heard of him. He lived here only briefly, but he married a local girl, and her family was here, and so that's how he ended up in our cemetery. But he did some pretty interesting things and traveled around the world doing those things from the turn of the century until he died in 1951. So I think people will enjoy taking a look back at some of the things that he did in our state that no one really talks about too much.
You've already whetted the appetite, if you will, and of course there's lots of others that we'll be talking about, and we'll learn a whole lot. You just will be on the edge of your seat by the time we get ready for opening night there on September the 21st. All right. I want to hear about history. Rolling back the hands of time here, 1918. That's where we start off. 100 years ago, Sam Terry. And it looks like this is in the Glasgow Times here 100 years ago. They sort of had a little, call it a news nugget section, where they just sort of threw out little news bites of things, not a whole lot of detail, but just the facts. So 100 years ago, on the 20th day of August, here's what was making the news nuggets. Bruce Aspley has bought the Rio Roadster of Dr. Miller. Now, that would be a vehicle. I guess Bruce Aspley bought a used car, and he bought it from Dr. Miller.
Well, and actually, I do know a little bit about why that happened.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a neat thing. Yes, the Rio was an automobile, and Dr. Miller was Dr. Thomas Finley Miller, who happened to be a doctor who had a home and practiced medicine in the town of Goodnight.
Okay.
And
a lot of your heritage there.
Well, he built and lived in the home that later became the home of my grandparents, and also was Goodnight Inn. And the reason he didn't have a need for his car is he was in France, working as a physician in World War I. And it would seem perhaps Miss Emma, his wife, decided that she didn't have a need of a car, and so just sold that thing.
That makes sense, Why let it sit there and, rust down? Let somebody else use it. And, of course, that's the Rio Roadster. Later on, there was a band named REO Speedwagon, which can be traced back to that vehicle as well. But Dr. Miller sold that one to Bruce Aspley. Also in a news nugget from 1918, Kenneth Hutcherson has been commissioned as a second lieutenant. I don't know in what branch of the service, but either way, that's a nice promotion for Kenneth Hutcherson. This is one of the most interesting part of our pieces of history. One of these interesting spellings here, Sam. This day in 1918, J.H. Bybee has a farm of 158 acres on not Skaggs, but Skaggs Creek. And that 158-acre farm has been sold to Mr. O.E. Turner. Mr. Turner bought all 158 acres for $7,000. Is that a deal?
Sounds like a deal to me.
Says the deal was made by the G.W. Ellis Realty Company. Anyway, that was some of the things happening around town 100 years ago. You can see we had diversity for sure. We weren't sitting around waiting for it to get cooler or anything. We were getting it going. This was the day in 1928, Sam, and here's the headline. And this headline will make you read the story. It reads as follows. Car crashes into tree at high rate of speed. 1 killed, 10 hurt. Now, I don't care who you are, you would pause when you saw that headline. So here's the rest of the story. Returning from an ice cream supper in the Oak Grove section Sunday morning about 1 o'clock, a car containing 11 Negroes and traveling at a high rate of speed struck a tree 2 miles from town on the South Jackson, killing one, seriously injuring another, and injuring all of the occupants. The car was driven by Pascal Richardson, employed by the Dickinson Motor Company, and known as Slim Horace Richardson, a brother of the driver, was so seriously injured that he died 3 hours after the accident. Robert Hutchinson was thought fatally hurt, but is recovering. So there's a wee bit of good news in there. Boy, that car was packed, wasn't it? 11 people?
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like a serious accident,
Yeah.
and such a contrast to how we would do a news story today.
That's right.
It's unusual that they thought somebody had died, but oh no, he didn't.
He didn't die. No.
We'll go ahead and add that.
Yes, and there's another thing we do differently today. We don't necessarily mention the race of the people hurt, which is a whole other change in journalism from 1928. Anyway, though, a tragic accident. All right, let's go to 1938. This day, ready for the rock. Work on the new Happy Valley Road, better known as the Knob Road, has been completed. Ready for the rock. The contractor hopes to have that completed in about 2 weeks. Now, Sam, I've read this story several times preparing for today, and I can't get it in my head exactly where this is or was. I know we have the Knob Road, and it runs sort of parallel to the Happy Valley Road. But then work on the Happy Valley Road in 1938 would involve some rock, so I don't know. Maybe it's a forerunner to Highway 90, you think?
I believe it was.
All right. Anyway, we needed that rock down there for sure, because it could be kind of messy in the fall without the rock. You might not be able to make it all the way. All right, 1948. This was what was headlining the news. Mr. Andy Jones, the blacksmith, would win first prize on matchmaking, even though it was a painful method. So here is the rest of this story, Sam. A short time ago, Mr. Andy Jones, the blacksmith, accidentally cut the end off of one of his fingers. And then this week, he cut off the end of the matching finger on the other hand. He says his hands are mates again. That was a little bit of some gruesome journalism, I think, in 1948. This was in the, what paper was this? I don't see the byline here. Do you on your copy?
I don't.
Oh,
no, I don't.
But anyway, they say, hey, here's a matchmaker. You thought it was a love story. He cut off the end of the other finger. So that's how he made the match in 1948. That's not a good way to become a matchmaker, I don't think.
I don't believe so.
But nonetheless, that was the way it was written there in 1948. 1958, here's the news. You love how classy this sounds. There was a buffet dinner that was given this day in 1958 by Mr. and Mrs. Richard Denton at their home in honor of two departing employees, Mrs. Ralph Wilder and the Reverend Oscar Pogue. Now, Reverend Pogue is resigning from employment at Denton's Market to accept the pastorate at Cedar Bluff Baptist Church in Warren County, and Mrs. Wilder is resigning to accompany her husband to Berea, where he has been transferred for religious work from the Glasgow Church of God. Two excellent employees there of Mr. Richard Denton's grocery business. And, of course, Reverend Oscar Pogue was involved in the grocery business a long time around here in various capacities, and was a big loss no matter what the situation. 1958. All right, Sam, 1968, this is the story of 13-year-old Neil Bishop Jr. Young Neil Bishop Jr. From Barron County, and his 4-H project animal Goldie won the barrel race class of the 4-H Horse and Pony Show at the Kentucky State Fair. Now, that was big doings, you know. Of course, Neil Bishop, many of us knew Neil and knew how involved he was with agriculture and animals and things of that nature. Took a project animal all the way to the state fair and won. That was a big accomplishment, no matter what year it was, for sure.
It certainly was, and I bet he and Goldie certainly made Barron County proud to be there, and I would also have a feeling that his mother and daddy and his sisters and brothers were there to cheer him on.
That's right. And I'm sure it was a proud moment for the entire family. That's a neat story indeed. Making, hey, don't be intimidated by the fact that it's the state fair. Just go up there and get it done. This day in 1978, this is the story of Mr. Isaac Likens. Mr. Likens was featured in a story in the Glasgow Daily Times. Mr. Likens has spent 65 years as a chair maker. Now, I knew Mr. Likens. I knew of his work. My granddaddy, would get Mr. Likens to fix chairs, and that was a long-lost art, to be able to weave the webbing into the seat of a chair. And Mr. Likens knew how to do it, knew how to make it last, and it was truly a work of art. Have you seen any of his chair work there, Sam?
I do. I have one of his rocking chairs
Oh,
he
okay.
made. Had the woven seat in as well. Had always been proud of it. I think a lot of people in this area have taken pride in owning an Isaac Likens chair.
That's right. It's quite a piece of our history indeed. A really nice gentleman too. I actually remember, you think about these things as a little kid, but he would deliver. He would walk by our house delivering something he had made for somebody, You think, yeah, I'm not going to bring a truck over here to haul this over here. He just carried it over there. Pretty cool way to get it done. 1988, this day in history, L. Ray Green, the president of Green Mechanical Construction Incorporated, announces that Gary Pierce has joined the company as the personnel director and business manager. From 1988, Green Mechanical, Ray Green, who, among many other wonderful accolades, is one of the archivists, one of the researchers for this program, and I'm sure he can tell us a whole lot more about that. From 1988. This day in 1998, the story is the National Parks and Conservation Association has named Heistville Elementary as the Mark for Parks event, the national winner of the 1998 Best School Event Award. Now, in 1998, Heistville Elementary had this event, Mark for Parks, and they won the Best Award, making all the young Cardinals proud up there at Heistville, Kentucky in 1998, Sam.
I bet they were. Mr. Frank Newberry was principal there for many years,
Yes.
and he loved to quote the school motto, where only the best is good enough. And it sounds like the students at that time were carrying on that tradition.
And that's one that you can carry on through life, that Mr. Newberry put out there in being a principal at Heistville. And finally, it was 10 years ago, we had soccer news, Sam. Glasgow Lady Scotties slipped by Monroe County 2-0, and the Barron County boys soccer team won 9-0 10 years ago over the Monroe County Falcons. So I guess that's fitting that we wrap it up with a little sports story here in the archives. That's what we have for Monday. We started off with news of the upcoming and not to be forgotten harvest of history. And we learn a lot more about ourselves as we talk about the archives. And Sam, I appreciate you joining us and bringing a bit of color to this otherwise blasé operation. And you can give us some rest of the story information, and we look forward to sharing more about that tomorrow, sir, okay?
We'll do it. Thank you, Henry.
And you have a good day. Bye-bye.
You too.
Sam Terry, and the archives today brought to you as a service of Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services. 6:51.
Let me ask you something. What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle, a combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more, because a State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just four walls and four wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve? Call State Farm agent Mike Bryant in Glasgow at 270-651-3608.
Why do you choose the pharmacy you use? Is it because of someone you know, or is it short wait times? Highland Pharmacy has considered all of these things that make your experience at the pharmacy pleasant. With a top-notch staff of pharmacists and techs you know and trust, 2 drive-through windows, and a commitment to not making you sit and wait any longer than necessary, you can see why so many choose Highland Pharmacy, and we invite you to come see us for your next prescription. Highland Pharmacy, just over from the TJ Health Pavilion, 301 Rogers Road. Call 270-629-4300.
Hi, welcome to this Subway ad for the Signature Wraps collection. How would you like it?
I'll take a rallying cry, please.
Coming right up.
Crusaders of flavor! Ahead lies the Signature Wraps collection! The bold and meaty trio of buffalo chicken, turkey italiano, and chipotle southwest steak and cheese. Let not your taste buds be intimidated, for tonight, their sauce will be on your napkins! Go forth to Subway and make it what you want! Limited time at participating shops.
Hey, Taste Buds here. The guys and I go gaga when you stop at a Subway restaurant. Right, guys? But when you order your sandwich, try a bag of the Lay's Taste of America chips.
We want Lay's! Settle out, fellas!
These regionally inspired flavors are now at Subway. You know them, we love them. Dill pickle chips with a hint of the Mississippi Valley, or the southeastern taste of wavy hickory barbecue. Hey, give us Buds a dash of sass. Add a bag of Lay's. Make it what you want. Only at Subway. Limited time at participating restaurants.
Weather from the WCLU Weather Center. Brought to you by South Central Bank.
South Central Bank is a locally owned bank that cares about you and our community, too.
My name's Roger Mercer. My wife and I, Terry, own Southern Kentucky Collision here in Glasgow. It's a collision repair center. We've been dealing with South Central Bank for probably 23, 24 years. They've always been good to us, our hometown bank. South Central Bank has been a really big part of our business as far as the growth. They've been there for us when we needed to borrow money to grow. We appreciate that very much from South Central Bank.
South Central Bank, small enough to know you, big enough to help. Member FDIC.
Looks like this morning to be a relatively dry morning. Patchy fog around and maybe a shower, but thunderstorms will become likely today. Best chance, most likely second part of the day, 82. Scattered storms early tonight. More scattered thunderstorms are possible overnight, 70 degrees. Tomorrow, cloudy with occasional rain showers, 79. That will clear tomorrow night. We'll fall into the mid-60s. That's about average this time of year. Then some great weather for the rest of the week. I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick, the Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thanks a lot, Ray. Let me look here at the constant coverage and studio radar screen. We've had some thunder shower activity down in the western part of the radar scan. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Yeah, that's down around Springfield, Tennessee. Some thunder showers extending northwest into southern Kentucky. Another area of ugly thunder showers west of Nashville, Metro Nashville this morning. That out on I-24 on the commute in for folks in Nashville will be over there around, let's see, where they're close to Centerville, Tennessee. There's going to be some ugly thunderstorm activity there as well. That's all a part of the storm system is going to change our temperature and give us a little bit cooler temperature there. But right now we're at 74 degrees from WCLU. This weather update brought to you by South Central Bank.
It was one of those moments. I was a proud dad standing behind my son as he just pushed off on his first bicycle pedal, pulled out my cell phone, and what did I do? Dropped it. Yep, there it was. And I knew it was cracked the second I picked it up. I didn't worry, because I knew where to take it, and that's Gadget Patchers, located at 199 Rogers Wells Boulevard in Glasgow. Gadget Patchers is a cell phone and computer repair store where I take all of my gadgets when they're in need of repair, whether that's cell phone screen, the charging port, or maybe it won't even come on at all now. And I have no doubt that Seth and all his talented staff at Gadget Patchers have the answers waiting for you. They can replace the entire screen, pretty much service a cell phone in any way imaginable. Time for an upgrade anyway? They've got newly refurbished phones and at great prices. Call Seth Arterburn down at Gadget Patchers at 270-228-0000 or stop in and get your repair quote on your device or bring it in and have them take a look at it, and you can shop around for a fully refurbished computer or laptop right in the store, as well as tablets and other phone accessories that you're going to need once you get the repair complete. Be sure to mention WCLU and get 10% off all accessories. Don't miss another one of life's events because of your broken device. See Gadget Patchers today.
All right, let me tell you who our person of the day is by request, and we do thank you all so much for letting us know about things and making nominations for people to be good as gold, to be patted on the back, to be reminded they're good as gold. Today, this is the 19th birthday of Allie Faith Robertson. Actually, her 19th birthday was on August the 12th. Sometimes it takes a day or two to get things arranged. But anyway, she recently had her 19th birthday. And if you happen to see Allie Faith Robertson around town anywhere today, you be sure to pat her on the back and tell her she's good as gold from WCLU and a little taste of Texas. Now, if you go to our website here at WCLUradio.com, at least according to my information here on the nomination form, there's a picture of Allie Faith on there, so I'm sure you want to check that out. Make sure that you are reminded of who she is, and when you see her out and about, pat her on the back and tell her she's good as gold from WCLU and a little taste of Texas. And we appreciate Pam for nominating Allie Faith to be our good as gold person today. We really, really appreciate that. 74 degrees.
I think love is unconditional.
And I always say there is no time like the present.
So when I heard that if I buy one iPhone, the second iPhone is on Bluegrass Cellular, it proved I was right all along.
Actually, it proved I was right.
Wait, 2 iPhones? What could possibly be more loved?
But since Bluegrass Cellular's offer only lasts until August 20th, there is no time like the present to get ours. So, I'm right.
Well, the bottom line is, we're both getting a brand new iPhone.
I can't wait to show off my new iPhone 8.
Great. You get an 8, and I'll get a 10. We can mix and match models, and we don't need trade-ins.
And when you buy yours, I get the one on Bluegrass Cellular.
Why's that?
Because my philosophy is the right one.
I'm right, but I'll let you have the second one if you end this commercial. It's a good thing that love is blind, too.
Deal. Restrictions apply. Buy one iPhone and get a second iPhone on Bluegrass Cellular. Go online or head to your nearest store. Bluegrass Cellular. Your community expanded.
Well, let me jump in here and tell you about a wedding anniversary we just learned about. This is the anniversary of Austin and Jamie Griffiths. Austin and Jamie Griffiths. They are having their 13th wedding anniversary today. Number 13 for the Griffiths, Austin and Jamie. A big congratulations to each of you. Let's make sure you know how to dress today weather-wise. South Central Bank brings you this WCLU weather update.
South Central Bank is a locally owned bank that cares about you and our community, too.
My name's Roger Mercer. My wife and I, Terry, own Southern Kentucky Collision here in Glasgow. It's a collision repair center. We've been dealing with South Central Bank for probably 23, 24 years. They've always been good to us. They're a hometown bank. South Central Bank's been a really big part of our business as far as the growth. They've been there for us when we needed to borrow money to grow, and we appreciate that very much from South Central Bank.
South Central Bank, small enough to know you, big enough to help. Member FDIC.
Looks like this morning to be a relatively dry morning. Patchy fog around and maybe a shower, but thunderstorms will become likely today. Best chance, most likely second part of the day, 82. Scattered storms early tonight. More scattered thunderstorms are possible overnight, 70 degrees. Tomorrow, cloudy with occasional rain showers, 79. Then we'll clear tomorrow night. We'll fall into the mid-60s. That's about average this time of year. Then some great weather for the rest of the week. I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick, the Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. It's 7 o'clock and 74 degrees at WCLU.
A local radio service of Royse Radio Incorporated. This is WCLU Glasgow.
Do you use a debit card? Do you get paid by direct deposit or have a monthly bill set up for auto payment? Do you like the convenience of online banking and the efficiency of e-statements? If so, Citizens First Platinum Plus checking account is for you. Stop by Citizens First today to open your Platinum Plus account and start earning real interest on your money.
Qualifications must be met each statement cycle to earn premium interest rates. Required minimum opening deposit of $100. Interest earned, compounded, and paid monthly. Interest rate is subject to change. Must be a Kentucky or Tennessee resident. One account per Social Security number. Member FDIC.
Shut that window.
Growth begins with an idea. At the People's Bank, that idea is to give you the banking service you deserve. We carry out that idea in everything we do. In fact, it's become our motto, working for you. As that idea continues to grow, let us work for you at our new location, 1300 West Main Street, opening this summer. Let us be the place where your ideas begin, where you get the banking you deserve. Come grow with us. The People's Bank, working for you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Check out the deals at Gilliard Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
Save big on summer adventure during our Jeep Celebration event. How about saving up to $5,800 off the factory MSRP on a new 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee? Or choose up to $4,000 off the new 2018 Jeep Renegade. Now you can save up to $3,750 off on the newly redesigned 2019 Jeep Cherokee.
If car shopping makes you nervous, come to the home of legendary service.
Let me tell you that I got a gongaree here. We just learned about Vicki Reese. Vicki Reese is having a birthday today. It's not just any birthday today. It's the 60th birthday for Vicki Reese today. How about that? So happy 60th to Vicki Reese today. Now we're going to play trivia. We got smart folks who tune into this show, and we look forward to sharing their knowledge. And we also look forward to sharing an opportunity to go have a meal at the all-new Dego's Place, or the well-established cousin of Dego's Place. We're talking about Garcia's. That's right. You get a $5 off coupon for winning trivia today that's good either at Dego's Place or at Garcia's. And speaking of good, both of them are good.
For an intimate setting with family and friends, everyone knows the place to go in Glasgow is Garcia's Grill. But did you know about Dego's Place? It's next to the TJ Health Pavilion in the former Plum Yum location. Also owned by Armando and family at Garcia's Grill. When you're talking Mexican food, it's all about the ingredients, and Armando uses only the best ingredients at both Garcia's and Dego's Place. The difference is, Dego's Place is a little more casual, and you also get to pick your sauces, cheeses, herbs, and spices. So if you've never tried Dego's Place, you'll love the authentic Mexican flavors made with the finest ingredients. That's Dego's Place, owned and operated by the same folks at Garcia's Grill.
Yeah, and more people are telling me how much they are enjoying the all-new Dego's Place, and of course, Garcia's, that has very quickly become a staple around here. So you might win $5 off just by answering this trivia question today. 651-9149, 800-956-1023, an area where radio transmissions are restricted in order to protect a radio telescope or a communication station from radio frequency interference is called a blank. Now, why in the world would he have a question like that? Well, today it's National Radio Day. So there's lots of things about radio. In fact, there's an area to where you can't transmit, so you won't mess up a telescope or other communications. What do you call this area where the transmissions are restricted, so you don't mess up a telescope or interfere with somebody?
Radio silence.
No, it's not right. Trivia.
A quiet zone.
That's what it is. Who is this speaking?
Good morning, Henry. This is Melanie Watson.
How you doing, Melanie?
I'm doing just great.
Is it quiet over there in your zone today?
Well, it is. I mean, Victoria's Way College, so it's pretty quiet.
Yeah, it's not. So you got a quiet zone going on over there, don't you? Unless RP is up there trying to interfere with communications.
Well, occasionally he does do that.
It is true. This, back in the early days of radio, you put out these signals, and that was all cool until you started messing with somebody else's signals. So then you have to have these quiet zones, and they're pretty, I guess, strict on that. You just can't interfere with things. So we have these things known as quiet zones, which are. I remember when I was a kid driving out here on North Ray Street, there used to be a sign up there that says you were entering